High school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime. I'm Scott Lover.
And I'm Drew Collins. We have a lot of ground to cover tonight. Could Belvedere North survive a challenge from Hononegah and retain the top 10 spot in the NIC 10 all to itself?
Which team? Freeport or Jefferson kept its playoff hopes alive. North Boone and Stillman Valley were trying to wrap up playoff spots, and South Beloit was trying to stay undefeated.
We'll also take you to an emotional night in Rochelle. Plus, we'll have our spotlight story on the two guys who are the engine that drives the Belvedere North Blue Thunder, Eric Roman and Ben Bucher.
The two teams shared first place in the NUIC tonight met, but only one holds down the top spot now.
Stockton and DuPac were both 6-0 in conference play. They met in Durant at Legion Field. And it's the Gillies Heating and Air Conditioning Game of the Week. It was a scoreless first quarter, but in the second, the Rivermen scored first, all the way backed up inside their 10. Watch this. Lucas Rosso gets to the outside on the QB power, and he is gone. A 90-plus yard TD to strike first. Stockton's Noah Larson gets outside the pocket. He has a throw on the run, and that's Jack Mezendijk who has the reception, and he will have the touchdown. This one was tied up 6-6 at halftime. Let's jump to the third quarter. DuPac goes right back to the QB power, but this time it's Tyler Tunick with the score. Here's the Stockton duo again, and it's going to be another throw on the run. Larson looking, throwing, and check out the catch, and once again, that's Jack Mezendijk for 6. His teammate there nearly knocks him out in the celebration. DuPac led this one 14-12. Stockton hungry to take the lead, and they eat. Mark Detweiler plows in for the tutty. Stockton leads 18-14 with 64 seconds left. So DuPac gets one last play. They're searching, cannot find anything down the field, and that's the quarterback, Noah Larson, coming up with the game-winning tackle as the time expires. Stockton stays undefeated, and they win it 18-14.
Coach told us, running backs, run harder, keep onto that ball, line, push even harder than you guys have in the first half. So I bet we did, and we pulled out the win. It was a big milestone. State is the next milestone.
It's definitely a statement, getting that conference chip, and we're looking forward to the playoffs.
And playoffs they are, and they'll probably get there. Before we do anything else, let's reveal our Athlete of the Week.
Athlete of the Week is brought to you by McCloskey, Kessler & Associates. Our finalists this week were DuPac's Dermont Dolan, Dixon's Landon Carnegie, Byron's Caden Considine, and Jefferson's Jaden Williams.
And the winner is Landon Carnegie. It was a tight race between all four of them. Carnegie received 31% of the votes. Congratulations, Landon. Up next, NIC 10 action, including Hononegah trying hard to beat Belvedere North and give them their first loss.
The highlights plus Tim Bailey's reaction to what went down at Kelsey Field.
Belvedere North haven't been tested this season since the opening week when the Blue Thunder had to rally to beat Guilford.
Everything since then has been a blowout, but tonight the Blue Thunder were facing a 5-2 Hononegah team that has been getting better and better. And Hononegah had the home field advantage for this one. First quarter, Indians at the 5-yard line in business. Drew Shockley, little play action. He's got Caleb Parker for the first touchdown of the night. Belvedere North would answer, though, with Ben Bucher. Bucher gets outside, going in the far side of the field. Watch him shake a tackle here, right there. And he goes down the sideline for the 50-yard TD. We're tied at 7. Second quarter, Brady Jarvis will bang in for a 4-yard TD, giving Hononegah the lead back at 14-7. But North comes right back with the one-man tush-push. QB Andrew Bucci just plows in there. We know he's in there somewhere, number 7, and there he comes. Off to our left, it was 14-14. Hononegah getting creative before halftime. Look at this. Shockley of the pass behind the line of scrimmage. Giovanni Zepeda, then to Caleb Parker on the pass. Great play there, but North's defense is going to come right back here with a big defensive stop. And then Hano ran out of time before it set up for a field goal, or before it had a chance to set up for a field goal, I should say. So we're tied at halftime. Start of the third quarter, Hano surprises North with a deep pass. And that's Parker again with it. That led to a field goal, putting Hano up by 3 points. But it was Ben Bucher time again for North. He takes the pitch, gets outside. He's just kind of taking his time here, and he can just waltz in from 45 yards out, 21-17 North. Hononegah comes right back. It's Shockley in from a yard out, just barely in there. And that made it the Indians lead again, 24-21. North answers, though, with 3:02 to play. It is Bucci coming right at us with what turned out to be the game-winning score. Hononegah defeated North 27-24 to clinch at least a share of the conference championship. All right, our Nick 10 analyst, Tim Bailey, had a great view of this game down on the field.
Absolutely.
Let's get his thoughts right now. Tim, we all three of us picked Belvedere North at the start of the year to win the conference, and I think we kind of saw why tonight, because in crunch time, these young men just find a way to get it done. They rallied in the fourth quarter in the opening game to beat Guilford, and they did it again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about, how well coached they are. Number one, Coach Beck does a phenomenal job calling that offense. But what those players do out there, it was a concerted effort tonight from the actual offense of Belvedere North. I mean, Booker did a phenomenal job tonight. They did really good job blocking downfield for him. Roman ran hard and relentless like he usually does week in and week out. And that offensive line, we can't give those guys enough respect. Kudos to the offensive line for allowing these backs to spring these big runs like they did tonight.
Yeah, that's the final drive we're looking at right now. Tim, you can continue there. But
yeah, just how their offensive line does a really good job of just pushing bodies back and allowing Roman and Booker and Bucci as well to do what they do best, and that's get the end zone. So, you can't say enough about how well coached they are, but also, too, what they have up front and what they have at the actual running back positions. It was nothing short of phenomenal tonight.
Yeah, maybe the difference in this game was that one team had Ben Booker and the other team did not. Booker ripped off a 50-yarder and a 45-yard touchdown. Tim, tell us, as we watch these runs again, I mean, what are we watching here?
I mean, he was on fire. I mean, you're watching one of the fastest guys in the Nick 10, potentially one of the fastest guys in the state. Just what he does when he gets the ball. He gets full steam ahead right away. Doesn't take him long to pick up speed. He accelerates down the sideline. What he does when he gets to that second level, I mean, many guys can't keep up with him. He's strong, he's physical, but he's also too fast. A lot of teams they got to learn how to tackle, So, again, kudos to Belvedere North.
all right, Hononegah was very creative with his play calling tonight. We've seen things out of them we haven't seen all year. It kind of felt to me like they were playing like they had nothing to lose tonight. They were just going to throw it all out there. Or what did you think of the Indians' effort?
Yeah, you saw some razzle-dazzle stuff tonight. I think you saw double passes tonight. It was really clever how they came out offensively and really did some things and just, tried to be a little bit more diverse in their offense instead of pounding things on the ground like they did last week against Boylan. Putting the ball in the air, I thought was really crucial for them because, again, it allowed them to sustain drives, pick up first downs. But again, they came up short tonight, but they have nothing to lament about. They played a hell of a game tonight.
Hononegah gave North everything they could handle. Hononegah should be in the playoffs with 5 wins that they have. What do you think of the play of Shockley and the receiver Peterson? They both had a huge game.
I think Shockley did what he needed to do. I think he facilitated that offense very well. I think the other kid came up, catching balls, when he needed to catch balls, making plays when he needed to make plays. They just need somebody else to complement those two gentlemen that we just illuminated.
All right, let's check out some more Nick 10 action. Boylan at Harlem. We're going to go ahead and get started with Boylan. Quarterback Dominic Cacciatore. Going to have a quick handoff to a very reliable Alex Hernandez. But this Harlem defense was ready tonight. And it would not be long before Harlem and quarterback Braxton Fawcett having a stunning connection with LeBron McClellan. We've seen this all year. Look at the catch, and he's taking that one to the house. Harlem converts for 2, and they led this one 33-7. Let's check out Fawcett again, this time going even deeper and right back to McClellan. He has the catch, and he does not stop until he has a score. What a game by LeBron. And Harlem down at the 10. Fawcett, wide open catch to Caleb Gay, and he goes in for the score. Harlem defeats Boylan 49-7.
A huge game in Swanson Stadium between Freeport and Jefferson. The loser would be out of the running for the playoffs. First quarter, Jayhawks in the red zone. Alejandro Omanaki maneuvers his way in for 6 points. Anthony Munoz on the next possession for a 37-yard field goal, adds 3 more. I mean, he's been huge for Jefferson. Remember that opening week OT kick he made? Pretzels Thomas Olson connecting here to Demarion Douglas in the end zone for the touchdown. There weren't a whole lot of points in this game, though. 4th down now. A pass from Freeport. They needed this one, but it's broken up, almost picked off. Jay Shack right there on the play. Jefferson edged Freeport at home 10-6. At Belvedere, Belvedere defeated Auburn 28-21. Guilford and East are going to play tomorrow at noon at East Practice Field.
Let's take a look at the updated Nick 10 standings. Belvedere North is 8-0 and have clinched at least a share of the conference championship. Harlem is next at 7-1. Guilford is 6-1 and plays tomorrow. Hononegah is now 5-3. Jefferson's 4-4 and still in the playoff hunt. Tim, it's on the next week at Belvedere North, the Blue Thunder and the Harlem Huskies. Can Belvedere North defense stop all of Harlem's weapons? They give up 24 points tonight.
Yeah, they gave up 24 points tonight. I mean, you know, it was a great display, offensive display by Hononegah, but, you know, I think Belvedere North just needs to go back, recover. It was a very physical game tonight, recover and get ready for Harlem next week. But I think they're going to be up for the challenge. I think if they can play a notch or two better next week than they did tonight, I think we're going to see a really good game next weekend.
All right, if you're Harlem next week, how much do you key on Ben Booker when he's on offense? Because I kind of feel like if you can stop him from popping those big ones, you got a shot to beat North.
I don't think you key on them, so to speak. I think you figure out how to actually slow their offense down. I think that's a big thing that Hononegah didn't do tonight. They didn't really slow that offense down. Yeah, Booker was actually the actual go-to guy that was popping 40, 50 yard runs. But I think, you know, what Harlem needs to do, you know, number one, they're going to have to learn how they need to tackle. Because tonight you saw Hononegah just really couldn't come up and make the tackles on Booker or Roman. You know, but I just think, you know, next week it's going to be a really good game, and I think Harlem's going to come ready to play. But again, as it relates to stopping that young man Booker, you know, I wouldn't put too much on trying to stop him. I mean, he's a beast. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do next week.
What a way to end the season with Belvedere North hosting Harlem. All right, folks, you can get more in-depth Nick 10 football information from Tim on the Bailey Pod. You can find a new episode on YouTube every Thursday. And this week, Tim's special guest is Hononegah coach Brian Zimmerman. He's also joined this week by our own Drew Collins.
Tim, thanks. And as always, we'll see you again next week.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, guys.
All right, we have our spotlight story on Belvedere's 1-2 punch on Eric Roman and Ben Booker coming up.
But next, more highlights from Stillman Valley, South Beloit, and an emotional night at Rochelle.
It was 2 weeks ago tonight that Rochelle standout running back Dylan Manning suffered a head injury in a game. He needed brain surgery to deal with the swelling.
Every moment, it seems, Manning has been on the minds of his coaches and teammates and everybody in Rochelle. That was the case again tonight for the Hubs game against Ottawa Township. Tyler Sorensen was there. Tyler?
Yeah, guys, number 10 for the Hubs has been number 1 in everyone's hearts the last couple of weeks. And tonight's was the Hubs' first home game since that injury happened. And guys, this one would be emotional from the jump for Rochelle. Everyone in the stands having signs or shirts for Dylan to support him, as well as a moment of silence before the game even began. But from that jump, Rochelle would have that momentum as they would pitch this one to Tyler Gensler, dragging defenders down for the first down. Now, same drive later on. What better way to top it off than giving it to Roman Villalobos as he would take it head first into the end zone for 6, and they would also hit the extra point. Now, Ottawa ball later on as they try to get Rochelle with the counter, but running back George Shumway gets gobbled up by the Rochelle defense. First hit by Tyler Gensler, and Ottawa would end up punting. Following the punt, why not give it right back to Gensler as he takes this one all the way into Ottawa territory, getting drugged down by Joey Leibart. Now, again, why not just end the drive with the man who started it all as Gensler takes it, because get off me, and he takes this one all the way to the end zone, putting Rochelle on the board once again, as Rochelle would play like Dill and defeat Ottawa 42-3. Now, in talking with a few people at the game, they were saying, honestly, what happens on the field does not really matter, as it's all about Dylan and making sure he's able to stay strong in the hospital. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tyler. And we, of course, are also pulling for Dylan Manning here and hoping that he is a full and speedy recovery.
Yes, we do. It's great to see all the support for Dylan over in Rochelle. Now let's head now to Stillman Valley, where the Cardinals and North Boone were both going after it for their 5th win. A win that would put the teams in the playoffs. There was the first play, North Boone, with the QB keeper, but nice tackle there. A few plays later, Eli drops back, looking to throw and hits Brad Dahl across the middle. He almost gets tackled here. Look at all the defenders by the Stillman defense. For Eli, why not top off the drive himself as he weaves his way into the end zone for 6, putting North Boone up 14-0. Following a Stillman Valley punt, North Boone has the ball back deep in Stillman Valley territory as Eli Bryan gives to the running back Connor Chamberlain as he finds his way to the end zone, putting them up 20-0. North Boone would shut out Stillman Valley 26-0. Also tonight, Byron clinched the big Northern Conference Championship. The Tigers defeated Rockford Lutheran 77-0. Congratulations to the Tigers. Genoa Kingston defeated Rock Falls 62-6. Orion's heading to the playoffs for the third straight year. The Hawks defeated Winnebago 20-18. And Dixon won big again. The Dukes defeated Strader 65-0.
In other games around the area, Morris defeated Sycamore 50-10, and Tinley Park Andrew defeated DeKalb 47-28. Richmond beat Marengo. Boy, is Richmond Burton good, because Marengo's good, 42-13. Wow. Plano defeated Harvard 21-8. All right, 8-man football. The Sapaloid Sobos are trying to run their record to 8-0. They hosted a good 5-2 West Carroll team tonight. Sapaloid defensive lineman Daniel Winterland, folks, is a beast. Number 9 there. There he is for the big-time tackle for loss. Well, that would lead to this West Carroll punt. And watch what happens here. The return man is a freshman, A.J. Gibson. Oh, my goodness. How many freshmen can do this at the varsity level? A.J. turns on the speed, gets by the official, and he's going all the way for the touchdown. How about that? West Carroll, though, comes right back looking to score through the air, and that's exactly what the Thunder did. West Carroll defeated Sapaloid 41-22. In other 8-man games, Polo defeated Hiawatha 54-14. Orangeville defeated Christian Life 56-29. Milledgeville defeated Alden Hebron 54-22, and Amboy beat West Prairie 68-8. Up next, we have our Spotlight feature story.
We'll meet two guys who have always seemed to be making big plays on both sides of the ball. Belvedere North's Ben Bucher and Eric Roman. Belvedere North's football program has become one of the elite programs in the Nick 10. The Blue Thunder have had a lot of outstanding players suit up for them over the years, but this year they might have the two best all-around players in the conference, Ben Bucher and Eric Roman. We spotlight them tonight in our Spotlight segment, brought to you by Rockford Career College. When it rains, it pours, and when there's lightning, there's thunder. And Belvedere North, the Blue Thunder, have one of the best duos in the state. Eric Roman and Ben Bucher will both play Division I football next year, but over the past 4 years, they've terrorized the Nick 10 on both sides of the ball. Roman and Bucher have been teammates in many sports, dating all the way back to middle school.
I mean, I don't know. We've just always been kind of connected through sports. I mean, well, we've played sports together since like 6th grade, yeah. I mean, football, basketball, track, we've kind of done it all together. And just we've always known each other, have a good connection.
Eric Roman won the Nick 10 Defensive MVP award last year after nearly winning it as a sophomore. Meanwhile, Bucher broke the Nick 10 rushing average with 18 yards per carry, and he also rushed for 18 touchdowns. Bucher is committed to play at Air Force Academy, and Roman has a few Division I offers and could play in the Ivy League with his 4.1 GPA. The duo playmakers are game changers on both sides of the ball. And when you're on the sideline and you know he's going in, you know he's got the play offensively and he averages 20 yards per carry. Are you just waiting and you're expecting for him to break one off? Is it like a surprise when he breaks one off? Yeah. Or when you're watching that, are you just like, oh, yeah, there he goes?
I mean, I think we have the same reaction for both of us. We just, whenever we see a big play from each other, it's just like another day, I guess.
Eric's great, man. Both sides of the ball, offense and defensive. I mean, defensive, he's just going out there trying to rip people's heads off. I mean, he's just, every single play he's giving 100% effort. And then offensively, he's just such a hard runner. I mean, you need like 3 or 4 people to take him down each time he gets the ball. So, I mean, I think that's kind of just like what makes us so good together, because each time, whenever I'm in or whenever he's in, I mean, they just got to always be like on edge. And sometimes when we're both in, I don't know what they do.
Aggression is the tone that they play with, but they believe they are able to play that way because of their chemistry.
You know, having Ben or Antoine or Jackson or any of those guys back there, like, I could be reckless and make those plays because I know those guys have my back regardless of like a big play. Let's say I miss. Like, those guys are going to have my back, so I can be reckless and be me.
Having Eric on our team just defensively, I mean, it makes my job easier as strong safety when he's in front of me. So he's getting to the run before me, and it's just, I see him doing great. and he's always been like that. Sophomore year, I think he honestly could have got defensive MVP also. I mean, he was up there, he was all conference.
Luckily, they are teammates, but there is some friendly competition between the Blue Thunder duo. You guys, Oklahoma drill, your defense, he's offense. Walk me through what's going on there.
Well, I think Ben's gonna say the same answer, but me personally, I'm gonna win that rep. That's just how I'm built.
So you're telling me if you guys run Oklahoma drill, you're winning the rep there?
Yes.
Is there a chance he's shaking you in the open field?
I think he's got me on that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm quick. I can change direction pretty fast, but he's a lot faster than I am. He's also pretty physical, so that's a tough tackle in the open field. With his size and speed, that's pretty tough.
When you watch a Belvedere North game, it seems like those two guys are just everywhere.
Yeah, they just keep showing up in our highlights every week. I know that. They are something else. We're going to be right back.
All right, it's time for our Napleton Auto Group Play of the Night.
The top play caught on our cameras. We go back to Belvedere North against Hononegah, and that Hononegah trick play, Drew Shockley, the lateral pass to Giovanni Zapata, who then finds Caleb Parker downfield, and now that's on every coach's, scouting film now. But anyway, we loved it, and that is the Napleton Auto Group Play of the Night. Hey, we're going to be right back here on Fox 39 next week with Overtime, and we'll be on after Game 1 of the World Series. That could be as early as 10:30, depending on how quickly the game moves along.
And a reminder, you can find highlights and scores anytime on our website, mystateline.com. All right, that does it for this show.
Thanks for watching, and enjoy your weekend.